Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with a lot of great people around and getting to know the equipment very, very well. My name's Matt Lucas. I work with the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic. I've had the privilege of working with Sandy Trombetta and Teresa Parks for the past 29 years. And as the equipment coordinator, I'm responsible for maintenance on all the monoskis and biskis. We've had to retire some equipment. And I was the type of person, I don't want to call myself a hoarder, but I put it in the top of the shed because I thought it was always a neat piece of history. Over the last couple of years, I've been noticing, look at this cool stuff we have up there. Look at how this all evolved. Adaptive skiing started post-World War II with veterans that were getting injured and becoming amputees. Some of their veterans wanted to continue to ski, and so they started making outriggers for skiing on one leg. In the 1980s, they started developing sit skis. The first ones were called sleds or toboggans that were actually, you sit on the ground with little picks in your hand. And then in the mid-80s, the first monoski was developed, followed by a biski for veterans who had higher level injuries. This is one of the first outriggers. It was given to me by Lee Perry, and it's very cool. Said it was made around 1958, and you can see it's very heavy. It's 24 inches long, and outriggers have evolved over the years. We used to make our own outriggers. These were basically Canadian crutches that were thrown away at the VA that were old. We took the metal forearm off and took the bottom leg off and put our own stuff on, drilled our own holes, and voila, we have new outriggers. They are just a tad bit heavier, but they work. We have a pretty big Nordic program. We have roughly 18 sit sleds for Nordic, and so one of the first ones that we ever had up at the Winter Sports Clinic was this piece of equipment here. And you can see it looks like a cafeteria chair with a frame on it. It's bolted to a frame. So in the early 1980s, manufacturers started coming out with what people called sleds, toboggans, and they're so people in wheelchairs, paraplegics, could get in and ride down the mountain. And basically, they look just like, they have runners on the bottom of them. All three of them, they're just a little bit different styles. And they come in, and when they first came out, you had these picks. And so they literally sat down on the ground like this, and they stuck these out when they wanted to turn. Probably up until 1984, 85, they started coming out with monoskis. This is one of my favorite ones because it looks like a sidecar to a motorcycle. It came out somewhere around 1984, 85, and it does have a suspension. You can see the brackets. So you put the ski on and you put the bolts in. As you can see, the disabled ski team, this was actually used by somebody that was on the ski team at one time. The neat thing about this ski too is it is the GFL monoski. This is one of our oldest biskis. Rick Isom, veteran from Delta, Colorado, he made this. He was into adaptive sports. This is another monoski that Rick Isom built. And then the newest of the biskis is the Dynamique from Enabling Technologies, where you can push this button, it has a lift assist, goes up. The other good thing while I've got this up is you can move this forward and backwards. So if you have a veteran that may have had his legs amputated, you can move it forward so it puts more weight on the front of the skis. Or if you have somebody who's heavier that needs to be moved back so they don't wash out. Kevin Bramble came out with what I think was the most durable monoski that's ever been built, and I still say that. I call it the Masher. because I've never had to fix anything on it except for maybe a buckle. This is a KGB Lynx. Love this one because I can lift it up with one hand. It's nice and light, very durable. Kevin Bramble made this. You know, it's kind of like the other one that I was showing you that I call the Masher. This one has a little bit more adjustability. You can see the motorcycle shock. So this is one of our high-end mono skis. This is called the Hydra, Dyna-Access Hydra, and people love it. So this is kind of a piece of history. So the old Mogul Master came out, and there's a guy that he wanted to mono board. This is actually a mono board. It's not a snowboard, same kind of thing. But he thought, you know, if I put this thing on there, the articulator and everything, I can put this on my board. It didn't work too good. Ski worked much better, but he tried it. Yeah, you don't see many of these just plain old mono boards.
Tell me about when Winter Sports Clinic started.
In the mid-1980s, my old supervisor and director of the National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic, Sandy Trombetta, started taking a veteran up to Powderhorn, our local ski area here at Grand Junction. He had Guillain-Barré disease, and Sandy was teaching him how to ski, and he'd literally fall every 10 feet. And the guy would get back up. He was motivated, he was passionate about it. He was gonna ski again. He got to the point where he was one of the most independent skiers that I ever saw. And Sandy got this idea of having a national event. And so in 1987, they had the first National Disabled Veterans Winter Sports Clinic at Powderhorn in Grand Junction. Then they moved to Crested Butte in 1993, and then we're up in Snowmass as of 2000. We're 35 years into it now, and it's just an amazing event. It's just been such an honor to be with this group of people, this adaptive skiing community, and I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have the Winter Sports Clinic.